If you think grocery prices are bad now, wait until you see what's coming in the next few months. While most people are ignoring the warning signs, smart families are quietly preparing for what could be the biggest food crisis in decades. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 10 essential grocery items you need to stockpile right now before prices skyrocket even further. I'll show you exactly why each item is at risk, how much prices are expected to jump, and the specific storage strategies that will keep your food fresh for years. Welcome to Food Fixer, where we help you navigate the changing food landscape and protect your family's nutrition and budget. If this information saves you even $50 on groceries, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more money-saving food tips. Let me start with some numbers that should wake everyone up. July 2025 saw a devastating 5% spike in grocery prices in just 1 month. According to the USDA, 70% of American shoppers are already deeply concerned about rising prices, and food industry experts are warning that August could be the tipping point for major food shortages across the country. This isn't fear-mongering or clickbait. We're facing a perfect storm that's never happened before in modern history. 3 massive forces are colliding at the same time. First, global supply chains are breaking down faster than they can be repaired. Second, climate disasters are hammering major food-producing regions around the world. And third, economic pressures, including tariffs and trade restrictions, are choking off the flow of essential ingredients and products. What makes this crisis different from anything we've seen before is that it's not just one problem. Multiple disasters are happening simultaneously. Production facilities are cutting output by up to 30%. Countries are imposing export restrictions to protect their own supplies, and there's even an aluminum shortage that's making it impossible to can and package the food that is being produced. So let's dive into the 10 items you need to start buying now, and I'll explain exactly why each one is at risk. First up, rice and oats. These might seem like boring basics, but they've suddenly become precious commodities. India, which supplies 40% of the world's rice, just imposed a 20% export duty on key rice varieties. At the same time, the U.S. hit back with tariffs of up to 50% on certain Indian rice imports. The result? Basmati rice prices are projected to jump from $25 to $37 or more by winter, and some varieties may completely disappear from store shelves. Oats aren't safe either. Canada, our main supplier, got hit with a brutal 1-2 punch this growing season. First drought, then heavy rains that delayed harvests and tightened supply. Wholesale oat prices have already climbed over 18% since spring, and the shortages are affecting everything from your morning oatmeal to oat milk and granola bars. Here's how to stockpile these smart. Choose white rice over brown because white rice can last up to 30 years when stored properly in airtight containers in a cool, dark place. Add a few bay leaves to naturally repel pests. For oats, buy rolled and steel-cut varieties in bulk. They'll last up to 2 years when sealed and kept dry, and you're locking in today's prices before they spike further. Next, dried beans and lentils. Argentina, a major bean exporter, is suffering through a severe drought that's shrinking crops and reducing exports. Meanwhile, the plant-based eating trend is driving up demand from both families and food companies. Organic varieties have already seen a shocking 40% price increase in just the past year. Buy dried, not canned. Dried beans and lentils are much cheaper and last way longer. Hit up bulk bins for the best deals. Store them in airtight containers like glass jars or food-grade buckets. And again, those bay leaves work magic for keeping pests away. Properly stored, beans and lentils can last 25 to 30 years. These aren't just survival foods anymore. They're inflation-proof, high-protein, and incredibly versatile. Canned goods are facing their own perfect storm. Aluminum shortages have forced manufacturers to cut production by up to 30%. Even major retailers are only receiving half of their requested shipments for canned staples like tomatoes, corn, and beans. The weather disasters have also reduced the amount of fresh produce available for canning in the first place. Focus on store brands because they're often 40% cheaper than name brands, but made in the exact same facilities. Check those expiration dates and write the purchase date on each can with a permanent marker. Aim for 50 to 60 cans per person, mixing vegetables, fruits, soups, and proteins. Use your older cans first to avoid waste. Canned goods are already showing scarcity signs, and another 15 to 20% price hike is expected in September. Here's something most people completely overlook: powdered milk. This stuff is like insurance for your coffee, cereal, and baking needs. Non-fat powdered milk can last 2 to 10 years, and with the right storage, up to 25 years. With dairy prices climbing because of feed costs, labor shortages, and extreme weather, powdered milk is becoming a hot commodity. Choose non-fat varieties because they last longer than whole milk powder. Store in cool, dry places between 50 and 70 degrees. Transfer opened cans to airtight jars and label with dates. You can use it for baking, smoothies, yogurt, and even emergency situations. Powdered milk is lightweight, saves space, and with fresh milk heading toward $7 per gallon in some areas, this is a smart hedge. Now let's talk flour and baking essentials, where we're seeing a crisis in the making. Whole wheat flour production hit a 10-year low in the second quarter of 2025. Ukraine and Russia's ongoing disruptions are making things worse, and climate disasters are hitting other major wheat producers hard. Flour shipments are down to just 40% of normal levels in some stores. Prices have jumped 47% since spring, with more increases coming. Sugar prices are absolutely exploding, up 75% in just 4 weeks due to droughts in Asia and El Niño effects. Even yeast shortages are quietly coming back, with 68% of bakeries struggling to find reliable supplies. Buy multiple flour types for versatility and nutrition: all-purpose, bread flour, and whole wheat. Use Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers to extend flour shelf life from months to years. Stock up on sugar, salt, and baking powder because these basics are also at risk. Store flour in food-grade buckets and sugar and salt in mason jars. Specialty imports and ethnic foods are disappearing fast. Tariffs on imports from Mexico, Canada, and China are driving up costs dramatically. Asian grocery stores owners are reporting 40% cost increases in a single month. Staples like Sichuan peppercorns, sesame paste, specialty vinegars, and imported oils are becoming scarce. Shop at ethnic grocery stores because they often have better prices and larger stocks. Choose items with long shelf lives. Soy sauce and specialty vinegars can literally last decades. These ingredients aren't just cultural staples, they add incredible variety to your meals when other options become limited. Coffee and tea lovers, listen up. Brazil, which supplies 40% of the world's coffee, just got hit by its worst frost in 27 years. This is devastating crops for years to come. Coffee prices are expected to double by winter. Tea is facing similar challenges, with climate change hitting major growing regions, and green tea prices already up 40% since spring. Buy whole bean coffee in bulk because whole beans last longer and retain flavor better. Invest in a grinder for freshly ground coffee that stores longer. Stock up on instant coffee because it never goes bad and is perfect for emergencies. You can freeze coffee in small vacuum-sealed portions to maintain quality for up to 2 years. Just avoid storing coffee in the fridge because moisture and odors will ruin it. Frozen vegetables are facing supply chain bottlenecks as processing plants deal with shortages of raw materials and packaging. This is leading to understocked shelves everywhere. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Frozen vegetables are often more nutritious than fresh because they're flash frozen at peak ripeness, and they last 8 to 12 months in your freezer. Focus on mixed blends and stir-fry mixes for variety and complete nutrition in one package. Buy single vegetables like broccoli, corn, and green beans for versatility. Organize your freezer using first in, first out, and label everything with purchase dates. If you have babies or pets, these next items should be your top priorities. Baby formula shortages are still persisting, with production delays causing panic among parents. Formula can last up to 2 years when stored properly, so stocking 3 to 6 months' worth is smart parenting, not hoarding. Pet food is also affected, with premium brands facing ingredient shortages and aluminum shortages impacting canned varieties. Gradually build your pet food supply and introduce backup brands slowly to avoid digestive issues. Store dry pet food in airtight containers to prevent insects and maintain freshness. Finally, cooking oils are experiencing their own perfect storm. Canada's canola crop yield dropped 35% due to drought. South America's soybean harvest was devastated. Indonesia imposed new palm oil export restrictions. Prices for oils like avocado, sesame, and canola have doubled for commercial buyers, with similar increases expected for consumers. Coconut oil lasts 2 to 3 years and is versatile for cooking, first aid, and even emergency candles. Avocado oil has the highest smoke point, is heart-healthy, and packed with nutrients. Refined olive oil has a longer shelf life and is better for cooking than extra virgin. Ghee lasts up to 2 years without refrigeration and adds amazing flavor and nutrition. Peanut oil offers neutral flavor, high smoke point, and long shelf life. Buy smaller containers to reduce oxidation and keep oils fresh longer. Store in cool, dark places, avoiding heat, light, and air exposure. Use amber glass or metal containers to prevent air seepage and extend shelf life. Now let me give you the smart strategies for building your stockpile without making critical mistakes. The key difference between hoarding and preparing is gradual, thoughtful purchasing. Buy extra items each shopping trip, rotate your stock, and store everything properly. Don't buy more than you'll actually use. Focus on building a resilient pantry that truly meets your family's needs. Use airtight containers to prevent spoilage and pest infestations. Store in cool, dark locations, ideally between 50 and 70 degrees, to extend shelf life for grains, oils, and baking essentials. Label absolutely everything with purchase dates and track when to use older items first. Rotate regularly to maintain freshness and avoid waste. For advanced preservation, use Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers for grains because this extends shelf life from months to years. Bay leaves work as natural pest deterrents in rice, beans, and flour containers. You can freeze specialty items like coffee and nuts in small portions to maintain quality. Set up a rotation system using first in, first out methodology. Build your supply gradually rather than panic buying. Aim for 3 to 6 months of strategic reserves for your most essential items. The convergence of climate disasters, supply chain disruptions, and economic pressures is creating unprecedented challenges for food security. The best time to prepare was yesterday. The second best time is right now. By stockpiling these 10 essential grocery items and following these proven storage strategies, you can protect your family's nutrition and budget in the months ahead. Stay informed, stay proactive, and remember that preparation is the antidote to panic. Your pantry is your insurance policy against uncertainty. If this video helped you understand what's coming and how to prepare for it, smash that like button and subscribe to Food Fixer for more insider tips on navigating our changing food landscape. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these items you're planning to stockpile first. Stay prepared, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next video.